Y'all remember last week I told you I was gonna do an episode on Shakespeare, but I ain't know nothing about the nigga? Well, yeah, well, as promised, I actually sat down and did my research, like deep research. I'm talking about falling down a rabbit hole at 3 a.m. with snacks and questionable choices type of research. You think I'm lying? Well, look, here's one thing that blew my mind immediately. Did you know that this man created half of the English language? Half. Like how? How you wake up one day and get bored and just start inventing words? Imagine being so creative that the dictionary gotta adapt to you. I'm out here struggling just trying to make a fire YouTube title. And Shakespeare was just like, I don't like this word. I'll simply just create a new one. Who does that? It must have been that weed. Matter of fact, it wasn't just the weed, because according to researchers, Big Shakespeare wasn't just out here smoking a little weed. He was dabbing in that cocaine too, that booger sugar. He was in love with the cocoa. It was just enough to make him feel like, you know what? Hell yeah, I could invent 1,700 words today. So go ahead and spark your reefers now. Get cozy. Oh, do me a favor too, hit that like button and subscribe button, cause this story gonna be a wild one. What's up, potties? It's the dopest soul you'll ever meet, and welcome to High History, the series where we talk about real people getting real high back in the day.
I'm the type of nigga that gets sassy on the bitch. VVS, clarity, stone, prezi on the bitch. And I'm feeling like the hand of God bless me in this bitch. Put respect up on my name, ho, I'm heavy in this bitch. I just want 7 Grammys.
Alright, so before we talk about the weed rumors and the coke pipes, we gotta talk about who Shakespeare actually was. Because honestly, the man's childhood was not giving future genius at all. It was giving regular little English boy who was minding his dusty little business. So Shakespeare was born in 1564 in a place called Stratford upon Avon. I think that's what it said. I mean, Stratford upon Avon. That's a weird name for a place. Very weird. But don't let the weird fancy name fool you. Stratford was basically the 1500s version of a small town. It only had one main road, a couple of goats, and just some vibes. Nothing too serious. His dad, John Shakespeare, was like the town's overachiever. He sold gloves, he made leather goods, he traded wool, he was in local politics. He was basically Stratford's hustler, entrepreneur, please don't audit me type of person. He was the king. His mom, Mary Arden, came from money. Money! But it wasn't like royalty money. It was like old farm money. So Shakespeare wasn't poor, but he wasn't like royalty rich either. He was born into the middle class, that my parents want me to do stuff that I don't really give a fuck type of life. And yes, Shakespeare was a school kid. People love to act like he just magically came out of the womb spitting poetry. Nah, actually, he went to grammar school in Stafford. They taught him Latin, Greek, old Roman plays, drama, and grammar so strict that it probably ruined my whole day. I can't stand grammar. Y'all probably can see how I talk now. I can't stand no goddamn grammar. Like, bro, please, bro. English language is so complicated. It's so hard. So I know this school was hard. If you mess up your verb conjunctions, they probably gave you a pop lecture on why you so damn disappointed. Like, Jesus Christ, I'm trying. The cat went to the dog and the dog said roof. Like, Jesus. But this is where little Shakespeare first got hooked on stories. Imagine him, little cute little 12-year-old Shakespeare, just sitting there like, all right, these little Roman dudes are kind of dramatic. I like it. That's how 12-year-old Shakespeare was sounding to me in my head. Real cute. He adorable. He's reading plays from ancient authors, memorizing speeches, performing stuff in class, soaking up all the drama and the metaphors and the chaos like a sponge. And even though the man barely left any real records, everybody do agree on this. School is where that writing demon just unlocked inside of him. Now this is the part where things get spicy. So the tea is, we don't know a lot about Shakespeare's teenage years. There's this period that people literally call the lost years, because history was just like, yeah girl, I don't know what he was doing. Surviving, I guess. But we can piece some things together. So at around 14 or 15, his dad's business started failing. They had money problems, drama, debt collectors. The whole family was just stressed out. So Shakespeare probably had to step up and work early. Some scholars said that he helped his dad with the glove business. Others say he was a teacher. And others said he worked at the farm. And the funniest theory to me, this the funniest one to me, because some scholars said that he worked as a butcher apprentice. What the fuck? Yeah, I imagine Shakespeare chopping some meat, bro. Come on now. With the book, probably had the butcher bad as hell. He just had the book on that joint chopping. Romeo. Not die, Romeo. I need to get the fuck. Like, come on now. Oh yeah, that one right there. Yeah, that one right there. I'm gonna put in my play. I just gotta make sure I get it together, and then it's gonna be super accidental. Probably gonna like. Hey, that's funny. That's funny. But no matter what job he had, everybody says that he was always writing, reading, and daydreaming. Like that one friend that has a whole creative destiny, but just still has to clock in somewhere. It's just funny. That shit ain't for the weak. That shit is not for the weak. It's not. Well, I don't gotta clock in nowhere right now, y'all. Y'all know I don't got no job. They fired me. They turned me. Did y'all know that? Did I tell y'all that? I don't even think I told y'all that, bro. They fired me. A bunch of funky bitches for no reason. Wrong for termination. And now I know. I'm be the one to be like, no. All right, Kayla, like, you really did that shit. No, y'all, I swear. Like, I didn't do it. I swear I did not do that. I couldn't believe that shit. The only reason I ain't turn that motherfucking office upside down, boy, I tell you. It's because I knew I ain't do it. And I just thought, hey, I'm going to appeal this shit. And I'm going to just get my job back now. I'm going to start looking for another job after this because how dare you question my character. But I'm not going to do too much because I'm going to get my job back. I ain't do it. You telling me the butchers ain't getting my job back after I appealed to you? You goddamn mind. We ain't going to dwell on me. Shakespeare got more problems than I do. Let's just keep going on with Shakespeare. He got more shit than me. That nigga dead. I'm still alive. We can go back to Shakespeare. Now this part, messy. Shakespeare pulls up at 18 years old. Mind you, in the 1500s, it's basically like you grown now. It's not even a basically. You're grown now. So he marries Anne Hathaway. No, not the actress. I thought the same thing. I was about to say, damn, Anne Hathaway, I know her. No, I want her. I'm a conspiracy theorist. I was about to say, I knew these actresses and actors go back in time, come and marry people. That's why everybody be looking alike. I was about to go down the rabbit hole, baby, but no, it's not that. It's not that Anne Hathaway, y'all. Calm down. It's a different Anne Hathaway. It's a different Anne Hathaway. It's a different one. Not the actress. I don't think. We still not putting it past her though. She might have. Yeah, we not putting shit past them. Anne was 26, which means Shakespeare pulled him an older woman, teaching him about the world. No, yeah. See, that's what they tried to make it seem like. No, she was a cougar. She was a cougar, okay? And Shakespeare, he pulled her. People were gossiping. Like the town was looking at them like, he must be doing something right, girl. Then 6 months later, boom, baby pops out. Not gonna go with the time frame. I know that's Shakespeare business. Just know 6 months later, a baby popped out. Okay, we're not gonna even go down there. So he ended up having 3 kids. And now here he is, barely an adult, with bills, a wife, and babies. And probably no clean socks. But I don't know, I don't got no clean socks now. I don't got no babies. So I don't think, he might have had some clean socks. So we're gonna scratch that up. Bills, a wife, and babies, period. This man needed an escape, a dream, a chance. Oh, you need a chance, Shakespeare, huh? You got a chance to get your little pee-pee wet in that woman, so you need to take care of them kids, is what I think, but he needed a dream and a chance. At some point in his early 20s, he said, yeah, I'm done with this small town life. I'm going to London. I'm gonna be somebody. And everybody else was like, boy, if you don't take care of them kids, because yes, if you don't take care of them kids, you are somebody, sir. You are a father, a husband, okay? That's the life you chose. The hell? What y'all think? That's a good topic. That is a good debatable topic. What do you guys think? Leave it in the comments. As a man, because I'm not no man, so I can't even really talk about it, but this is the question for the niggas. This is for the niggas, strictly for the niggas, the real niggas. You have dreams, goals, aspirations, but you do have a wife and kids, okay? As a man, do you feel like you should be able to go follow your dreams, goals, and aspirations? Because at the end of the day, you are still a human being. You're outside of you being a husband and a father and all the things like that. You're your own person. You had these goals and dreams before you became a father, before you became a husband. So do you think it would be okay for you to go follow those goals and dreams and aspirations, even if it means that you have to leave your family for a little while? Do you think that would be good? Like, do you think that's cool? I don't know. I feel like, because women do it. But I feel like because you're a man, you get held to a certain higher standard, like in the family role, at least, because you're supposed to be the provider and protector and all the rest of that shit. So how dare you leave your family to go follow your dreams? Are you crazy? I don't know. What y'all think? That's a good question. Leave it in the comments. I want to know. But Shakespeare left Stratford and left for England anyway. And this is where his destiny kicked in. He got into the theater scene. First as an actor, then as a writer so good, people started getting mad about it. He started writing plays and poems, stories so dramatic, they can be reality TV today. He was working nonstop. He was building up rep. People were quoting him. Shit, people was even stealing his lines. And slowly but surely, the glove maker's son, the butcher apprentice, maybe, the teen dad, the random kid from Stratford became Shakespeare. The man who flipped English like it was a mixtape. After decades in London, Shakespeare decided he was tired. Big career, big money, big brain energy. It's time to retire. Around 1610 or 1611, he moved back to Stafford. He bought New Place. Like, that's the name of the house. Like, that's the name of the it's called New Place. It's a nice house with a garden. It's literally called New Place. I'm not saying he bought a new place. No, he bought New Place. I just don't want you to get confused. Shakespeare died in 1616, leaving a legacy so big that we're still quoting him today. All right, now, since we know the backstory, the story on Shakespeare, let's get to the question that brought you here. Did Shakespeare get high? Did he get something? Now, first things first, the short answer, we don't 100% know. So I can't come up here and just be like, Shakespeare was just like, yo, I smoked a fat ass blunt and wrote Hamlet and wrote it in my diary, because we don't know. Like, he ain't write no shit down or something like that. So it's not like 100%. But what we do have is like some seriously interesting evidence. In 2001, some researchers dug up some old clay pipes in the garden of New Place, which you remember was, Shakespeare home that he bought after he finished retired back in Stafford. So when they ran chemical tests on these old pipes, they found traces of cannabis. Yes, bitch, traces of cannabis. And it wasn't just like a little trace. It was legit residue of cannabis. Like, it was legit residue of the plant. And get this, some pipes even had coca leaves on it, which is basically cocaine. Apparently, the people back in that time had a taste for exotic stimulants. Okay. Now, before you start thinking Shakespeare was out here doing lines off a globe, remember, these pipes were on his property, and he had just retired from London. So it's possible that the cannabis and other herbs that was found belonged to like his family, his friends, people that was just over at his house. But, like, come on now, being what I know about Shakespeare now, we talk about a guy that had the creativity and curiosity to at least want to try it. Now let's talk about the fun part, why people are actually connecting this to his writing. Think about his plays. I looked into A Midsummer Night's Dream, and with all the fairies, magic, and dream logic, I could see the reefers, the tempest, like with all like with the mystical storms and like the hallucination vibes. I could see the reefers. The man wasn't just writing normal stories. His brain was wildly imaginative, constantly just playing with like alternate states of reality. Some historians have speculated that mild stimulants like cannabis could have played a part in that. I guess it's kind of like how I reach for weed to get in my creative thought. So like, yeah, I'm talking about weed history, but when I'm smoking the weed too, it's just creative for me. Like I can sit right here and talk to y'all all day. I feel like if y'all watch my videos when I don't have no weed versus if you watch my videos when I have some weed, I feel like you can see the difference. I'm more creative and talkative and shit like that when I have the reefers. But here's the tricky part. Because like I said, finding cannabis on his property doesn't necessarily mean it was his. I did take a look at his writing schedule. The man spent long hours in his garden just reading, thinking, writing, and revising. So it's not a stretch to imagine that he would have experimented, especially since the pipes were found in his personal garden space. All signs point to, at the very least, he knew about it and he did have access to it. So I'm gonna just chop it up till he smoked it, and I'm gonna just chop it up to that. But this is both sides, I gotta debate both sides, so I just can't give you my side. So was Shakespeare smoking weed? Probably. Was someone at his house experimenting with the coca leaf? Probably. Did it influence his writing? Probably. And honestly, thinking of Shakespeare as this creative legend who might have been sitting in his garden, pipe in one hand, coca leaf in the other hand, stressing about dialogue like the rest of us. It just make him feel real, like make him feel more human and not just this magical, mystical thing that I get taught in school. Like it just make him feel more relatable. That's the word. Makes him feel more relatable. Not just some fancy statue in a museum, but an actual man that lived, laughed, struggled, hustled, and maybe got a little faded while creating some of the most iconic stories on earth. I think that's pretty hard. Let's give a round of applause for Shakespeare. Let's give a round of applause for Shakespeare. All right, y'all. It's the end of this one. Shakespeare was way more chaotic than your English teacher ever taught you. You're welcome. Yeah. I don't know what I usually come up here and tell y'all what my next episode is gonna be and shit. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out, matter of fact. So if you watching this, and if you give me an idea what you want my next episode to be, let's leave it in the comments. Tell me what it is, because I'm lost for words. I don't know. But I do know to make sure you smoke the gas and pass the gas. Dope Soul out.